Returning now to our top story, the Labor Department says the U.S. added 206,000 jobs in the month of June. The unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.1%. That's the highest point it's reached since November of 2021. Acting U.S. Labor Secretary Julie Su joins me now from Washington. Secretary, good to have you with us.
It's great to be with you.
I want to get your reading on today's data. What do you see as some high points and some areas for improvement?
This is another extremely strong jobs report. Month after month, year after year since President Biden came into office, we are reporting on historic job growth. Nearly 16 million jobs created since the president came into office. As you noted, the unemployment rate remains historically low. It was at or below 4% for the longest stretch since Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon. And this last month, it ticked up slightly. We also saw prime age workforce participation rate go up. So again, people are in the labor market. It's taking them a little bit longer to find a job, but that's why the work that we are doing to connect people to the good jobs in their communities and employers to the people that they need is so important. We have more work to do, of course, that's always the case, and we are committed to focusing and doing it.
We're a little bit stagnant when it comes to wage growth. I guess one could say it's good for employers and small businesses looking to keep costs down. But is enough being done to help the wage department for average Americans as they face the rising cost of living?
Right. So under President Biden, real wages have been up, especially for low and middle income Americans. That's not an accident. That is a feature of the president's commitment to making sure that workers do well, and his understanding, which I share, that when working people do well, employers also prosper and our economy is stronger. Now, what you're talking about, which is a little bit of the leveling off, is really part of the path to a state of steady and stable growth. Right? For a long time, the questions have been about, is the job market too hot? Is it going to come crashing down? I think the answer to both of those has been a clear no, but that with strong, stable policies, we are entering a steady state, a balanced state. And, if you look at the numbers that we're reporting today and look back to the same day in 2020 in the prior administration, the unemployment rate at that time was nearly 12%. People were being told to stay home and stay away from each other and not be out celebrating July 4th because there was no national strategy to address the pandemic. This president came in with a national strategy, and we're continuing to deliver on it.
Yeah, we have to mention that, 4 years ago, we were smack dab in the beginning of the pandemic there. Secretary, in past interviews with CBS News, you've spoken about the Labor Department's efforts to stop child labor exploitation. Where does the progress stand on those efforts?
We are laser focused on that. Thank you for asking, because it's so important that we stop the scourge of child labor, children working in conditions that they should never be in, with machinery they should never be near, working the kill floor, cleaning with toxic chemicals. We recently announced a case against Hyundai for work that was being done by children in their supply chain, working on auto parts. There's really two paths forward here, right? One is the path that the president has championed, where working people have a real choice, a real voice on the job, have good jobs. We've seen that with the historic gains by the UAW in that very same industry, in the auto industry. And then we see another path where labor laws are weakened for working people, and we stand against that, and we're enforcing the law to make sure that no child has to work long hours in dangerous conditions. That's just not America. That shouldn't be what it is. And our message to companies who try to outsource their labor law responsibilities is not on our watch.
Madam Secretary, the president is under a lot of scrutiny at the moment. In your interactions with him, have you seen anything to give you pause?
I've seen nothing to give me pause. In fact, I was with him yesterday. I was with him earlier this week. We announced the first nationwide standard to protect workers from the dangers of heat, right? So it's hot everywhere. We all can feel it. For working people, heat is not just an inconvenience or a discomfort. It can be a workplace hazard. Yet there has never been a nationwide standard to protect workers with basic standards, with shade, with water, with breaks. And that's the standard that we have announced announced this past week, and it happened because the president wanted it to happen. He said to me last year, why would certain states take away the ability of their cities or counties to protect their workers from heat? We should step in and do it, and that's what we've done. He's laser focused.
And Madam Secretary, in addition to the content of what you were talking about, in terms of what you saw with the president, his demeanor, his health, would you characterize it in the way that we're hearing a little bit in the media?
I wouldn't characterize it that way at all. And I would say, I think your question is, what am I concerned about? I'm concerned about the same things the president is concerned about, making sure workers get a fair shake, combating the massive gap between CEO pay and frontline worker pay, where a worker has to work years to make what the CEO makes in just a week, in combating, sky-high unemployment rates that we've brought down, in combating high prices, in making sure that student loan debt is forgiven so people can look forward to their futures with hope, that we bring down the cost of prescription drugs, that we give more wages to workers. And we did that last week also with 1 million workers who are now eligible for overtime pay that were not eligible before. This is what the president wakes up wanting to do every single day, and I'm proud to be part of that work with him. I see it up close, and I believe that everything we're talking about when it comes to Jobs Day is because he had a clear strategy for this country and knows how to deliver it.
Acting U.S. Labor Secretary Julie Su, thank you.